What's up YouTube? I'm Josh Newland from Newland Performance, and today I'm going to be comparing high school soccer and club soccer and which is better for you. So first of all, sorry I didn't post last night. I've been coaching at my brother's tournament pretty much all weekend, helping out there. So I didn't have much time to film or record the last few days, so I'm getting it out to you a day late. But I know this video is going to be, kind of common sense to some players, to some people out there. But there's still a lot of people that don't understand the difference, and there's still a lot of confusion of people not knowing what's best to play at the next level where you're trying to go pro or playing college. Should I play high school, club, academy team? There's a lot of people that don't really know the difference. So first of all, if your goal is to play pro, you can also do this if you want to play in college, but especially if you want to play pro, I'd say join an academy team if you can. Now, for most of us, it's way too expensive, and it's also not realistic. A lot of us want to go to the typical public school, where a lot of academies, they combine school and soccer, sort of, and the professional club will have an academy school set up and sort of like a boarding school. And here in America, unfortunately, it's very expensive. Even if you're just playing club soccer, it's really expensive. And it's not like in other countries, well, they'll make it happen if you can't afford it. If you're good enough to play, they'll make it work for you to be at their academy or be at their club. Fortunately, in America, it doesn't really work like that. So I think playing in an MLS academy or playing for the USDA, the U.S. Development Academy, obviously would be best and be ideal. However, it's not realistic for most players. So then your only two options really are high school and club. And it doesn't have to be one or the other, just high school or club soccer. A lot of times you can do both, but I am still going to compare and contrast them. So club soccer pretty much is almost year-round. A lot of clubs will take a break during high school season though, so they're giving you the opportunity to play high school soccer because a lot of players want to. They want to play with their high school friends. Sometimes it's more fun for them. So a lot of clubs they can't play or they don't have tournaments or practices during high school season. Club soccer is also expensive. It's not as expensive as academy, but unfortunately there's still quite expensive, especially if you want to be at a well-organized club or a successful one. They can be very expensive. And one of the frustrating parts about it is if you're like me and you went to a local cheap club, a lot of times not very well organized. And that's why I'd say if you can, absolutely go academy or for one of the better clubs, so you are going to get a more professional environment, because a lot of clubs don't take it seriously enough. Now, with that being said, club is also typically quite a bit higher skill level than high school soccer, and it's still a good level to be playing at. There's still definitely going to be college coaches that are going to watch your film and to go to your club games. The academies are more, if you're trying to go pro right out of high school, those are a lot more ideal than playing club or high school. So club is great if you're trying to play in college. It's still possible to go pro from it. It's just a lot more likely and a lot better if you're already in an academy to go pro straight out of high school. And you also want to be playing in tournaments. A lot of college coaches, when I would email them, one of the first things they'd ask is, do you have a schedule you can send me? Are there any big tournaments? Are you coming to this tournament out in our state? And unfortunately, almost every time I had to say, no, I'm not going to that tournament, or I don't have any coming up, or I only have these few games, but I can send you game film. And a lot of coaches, that's super strict on their criteria of they have to see you play live before they make a decision on you. So unfortunately, because I wasn't playing at a club that had a lot of tournaments set up and a good schedule set up, I got written off a lot of coaches' lists right off the bat because they didn't have tournaments that I would be at and they would be at to come see me play. But club soccer, even if you're playing at, like I did, like a local cheap club, the skill level is also normally a lot higher than high school because a lot of the best high school players are club players. And they might just be an average kind of club soccer player, but they might be the best of their high school because a lot of high school players are guys that don't really play the rest of the year they'll just show up and try out for the high school season. That's like the only soccer they really play throughout the year. So college coaches, they're rarely going to spend time going to watch high school games, especially not if they're D1 or D2. That's pretty much unheard of college coaches going to watch high school games. If it's a local, small D3 or an AIA school or a JUCO, they might be willing to go watch a few high school games or tournaments if they're really interested, but it's still pretty rare. Club also a lot of times doesn't appear to be as fast-paced as high school, but it's because the skill level is higher. And that doesn't sound like it makes much sense, but it's also the same thing when you compare college and pro soccer, where a lot of college soccer is faster paced. A lot of pro soccer is a little bit slower paced in certain ways, because pros are more skillful, they have a better touch, they're not going to be as phased if someone's running at them or if they're getting pressed. They're going to know how to deal with it, whereas a lot of college players will get nervous when someone's spraying at us and we're going to make a bad pass or we're going to lose the ball. A lot of pros aren't going to make the same mistakes. So same thing when you compare high school and soccer. A lot of high school teams like to press a lot. They'll have their forwards just run like chickens with their heads cut off and chase the ball around. And it might work because the defenders are a lot more sloppy. Whereas club, the coaches, the strategy, the players are a lot more skillful and smarter sometimes. So basically, to summarize real quick, club soccer, more expensive. It can be pretty unprofessional if you're not in the right setting, but it's also a much better outlet to get to college coaches through tournaments. They're more likely to come to your games. They're more likely to be interested in your game film if it's from club soccer. It's also just going to have you playing year-round instead of just 2 or 3 months like high school season is. So it's definitely something you want to do if you're serious about going to the next level. And then going into high school, like I've said a little bit, high school is a little less skillful. There are a lot of guys that you see, the ones that play club compare to the ones that don't play club. When you're watching high school games, you can tell almost instantly because their touch is a lot worse. They just look more sloppy. They don't look as natural on the field. They don't have the same kind of soccer IQ or instincts. So even just your regular club player is probably going to look pretty good on a high school team. One of the good things about high school, though, is that it is a lot more professional in certain ways. You're practicing or playing at least 5 days a week, whereas during club season, a lot of teams only train 2 or 3 times a week, maybe sometimes 4 if it's a really professional club, and then you'll have a game on a Saturday or a tournament a month or something like that. So high school, even if the skill level isn't as high, you're practicing a whole lot more as a team, and more touches on the ball and more training never hurts anybody. A lot of clubs won't be practicing or playing during high school season anyway, so I think it's something you should still do. I don't think if you really want to play at the next level, why would you just skip high school season if you're not even training club then anyways? So just to sum everything up, high school soccer versus club soccer. So I'd say club season is where you're going to have a better opportunity to meet college coaches, to have them see you play, whereas high school season might be more of just try to train and get better with the team. You're going to have more team practices a week. And also maybe just enjoy yourself more, have a bit more fun playing high school. Don't screw around, but just enjoy it. Like I played wing my senior year, which is a position that I didn't get recruited to play wing. I got recruited to play defense. But it made me better overall because I was working on other skills like crossing and dribbling and things like that, which I wouldn't be training during club season. So even though the title makes it sound like you have to choose between the two, most of the time you're going to be playing both. And I would suggest doing both if you can, and if your club is taking a break during high school season, play high school soccer. If they're not, if they go all year round and it's a good club, stick with club. If you can afford academy, or if it is realistic for you, then play academy. So I'd say the ranking kind of works like academy, club, and high school. But there's also club and high school, like I said. Club can be pretty unprofessional sometimes. High school is a lot of times set up pretty well with the time training is, the time games are. So they each have their unique set of pros and cons. And I just want to make it clear the expectations, because a lot of people think if I'm just playing high school soccer, I might get recruited, because with a lot of other sports, playing high school basketball, football, track, things like that, that's where the college coaches go. Whereas with soccer, college coaches are looking to club and almost never looking to high school. You can, of course, make a high school highlight film. You can send in your high school game film. But if you have club film or highlights, coaches are going to want to see that first. So that's my comparison of high school and club soccer, and also a little bit about academy soccer here in America. Over the last month or so, I've been coaching my high school team now that I'm on winter break. So it's just been something I've been thinking about a little bit. And I did play high school soccer as well as club soccer. Like I said, I played for a local cheap club, so it wasn't organized very well, which was very frustrating. But it's also pretty unrealistic to try to afford a really big, expensive club, or a club that's pretty far away and it's a long drive to all my practices and games. And I don't regret playing high school or club soccer. I think they both taught me important things. They both definitely improved me, and I had fun doing both. So thank you all for watching. I appreciate your support. Again, sorry I'm a day late on the video. And just comment below your thoughts on high school soccer versus club soccer versus academy soccer, what your experiences are and what you think about it. Because this is pretty much just my opinion and what I've seen from my experiences and heard and seen from other people's experiences. So if you enjoyed this video and want to see more of my content, just like and subscribe. You can hit the bell down below to be notified when my next video is out. This week will be the last week. I'm posting twice a week for a while. The next video will be out Wednesday night. And then after that, I'll just be posting once a week again on Saturday nights. So thank you all again, and I'll see you on the next one.